morning, and this morning I have asked Mark Pew to join us to discuss his involvement and everything that he does with Comp Laude. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, Kristen, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. So you're a big advocate for Comp Laude, but before we go into it, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the industry?
I do a little bit of everything. I'm known as the arts professor, the educator, and agitator. A lot of people don't understand that I actually have an IT background, and that's where I first got engaged in the work comp industry back in 1990. So a lot of the stuff I know about workers' compensation, about medical treatment, about prescription drugs, and the variety of things that I'm talking about have come through osmosis, through reading treatment guidelines, through looking through medical records, looking at PBM transaction data, having meals with a variety of different really smart behavioral psychologists and physicians and nurses and physical therapists and all that kind of stuff, as well as attending a lot of different industry events. So it's been a wild ride since 1990, to say the least. I guess you could call me a 20-year overnight sensation because a lot of times, oftentimes people listen to my presentations and think I'm a clinician. And I'm really not. It's just really come from, I'm a voracious reader and just an inquisitive personality, and have been my entire life. And so I really enjoy creating stuff from nothing, which is certainly from an IT standpoint. You take an idea, write it on the back of a napkin, and out comes an application or a website or whatever. And so I've kind of brought that same kind of mindset to workers' compensation back in 1990, and really enjoying it. I've always considered work comp kind of the Hotel California. Most people don't voluntarily choose workers' compensation, and then you can't find the door to get out. And so I'm probably in it to stay for the rest of my life, but I really enjoyed it, mostly about meeting all the great people that really are trying to do the right thing in the industry.
So what was the first Comp Laude event you attended? Because you've been around for a while.
Well, thanks for making me feel old. It was either 2013 or 2014. I can't remember exactly when, but came and attended. It was a one-day affair, as I recall, on a Saturday at the Sheraton. And I brought my wife. It was down around Christmas. It was one of those things, I didn't know anybody and nobody knew me. So it was interesting kind of diving into the deep pool with people that I had read about, that I respected, people that, had high gravitas within the industry. And I was the nervous Nelly kind of walking around trying to introduce myself, and they go, "Mark, who?" So it was a long time ago, but I've attended each Comp Laude since then. Certainly seen it grow from the Sheraton to the Burbank Hotel to San Diego and now to Huntington Beach. And each year, I've seen new people show up, new ideas show up, and certainly the attendance increase, and I think the industry awareness increase. So 2013, 2014, I'm not really sure when, but it certainly has grown a lot, and it's been great to see how David's vision for this has grown from just kind of a one-person idea of trying to change the perspective and the discussion in the industry to an entire company, and now an entire industry that's kind of bought into that concept.
So you've been MC, you're on the advisory board, plus you're a winner. But from the event, what's your favorite part?
So I always enjoy the sessions, because the sessions are different than what you see in other conferences. You hear different voices, and you certainly hear different perspectives. And so I enjoy the education. I've learned a lot. I've been able to, increase my knowledge as well. But I think really the bigger interest for me is really that networking, the fact that you can hang out with the smartest people in the industry, but also the most passionate people, the most compassionate people, the ones that believe in an advocacy model, the ones that believe that the industry can be a help rather than a hindrance. And I think it's propellant for those of us that are of that mindset, that we're not necessarily out in the wilderness preaching by ourselves, but there are others like us that are trying to also change that perspective and change the conversation. And I think truly it is the collective is better than the individual. And I think the fact that you can see that there are a number of people that not only are really smart and really intelligent and really experienced, but also very compassionate and very empathetic, in regards to trying to make this system the best it possibly can be. And that can do nothing but propel those individuals as well as the industry forward, and being able to talk about those things with like-minded people.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, you can just borrow this if you like.
There you go. That's why we're doing this, right? And that's the biggest thing when I talk to my session organizers is I really want to push that they make their presenters, as well as when they're thinking of it, takeaways that people can really try to apply to their jobs, no matter where they are, on what side of the table they're sitting. Can they take something back? And I think the biggest thing that we push is the compassion and the human element. Is the biggest thing that I try to push from Comp Laude, is that there's humans that we're dealing with, and hopefully we'll continue that on. And the advisory board is very big in helping me make sure that we spread that message. So
yeah, and you've done a wonderful job with the advisory board. It's very diverse. It has a variety of different voices, different levels of experience, different portions of the industry, and all of those different things come into play. And I've always found it interesting when you have those meetings of the advisory board, and certainly when we have the dinner there at Comp Laude that first night, it's always fun to see people. It's almost like a homecoming to a large degree, because a lot of us have known each other for a long period of time and respect one another greatly. But I think the variety of input and the diversity of perspective really helps you make that actionable. It certainly can get in an academic exercise when you're talking about important stuff, but academics are really good mostly for academia. Academics aren't real good for actually affecting change, and affecting change comes from people having a different mindset and then taking that mindset and doing something different. And that's certainly, I think, Comp Laude, and through your leadership, specifically over the past 3 or 4 years since David's passing, has been really key in bringing together those folks and kind of getting that diversity of opinion and putting together content and agenda and faculty that really stays focused on the message of Comp Laude.
Well, thank you. So if you could tell somebody that hasn't been part of Comp Laude or heard of it, something that may pique their interest, what would you want to tell them?
Well, I think if you want to be in that zone of people who are intelligent and intellectual, but also don't think that they know everything and are willing to listen to other opinions and to change their mind and to change the minds of others, this is a great opportunity to meet some of the thought leaders. And I know that term is often overused. Everybody wants to be a thought leader, but this is truly thought leadership. It's people who are thinking about what can best serve the workers' compensation industry and all the different stakeholders in it. And so I think if you're interested in being a part of that, it is a great opportunity, number one, to learn from the sessions, number two, to network with the faculty and to network with the people that are around you, and third, it will give you some ideas, to your point, that you can take home and back with you. So if you really want to be a game changer, either in your job only, in your company, in your geographic area, in your specific slice of the industry, this is a perfect place, if you haven't been that yet, in order to grow into that. I highly recommend you to come in and attend the sessions, to learn, to network with people, to get out of your phone, to get away from your booth, and to get to know each other. That's how I got to know people. That's how I got to be knowledgeable about a variety of different things, is that natural inquisitive mindset that I had, but I had to actually go and ask people. And so, if you're coming to Comp Laude, don't come because of location. Don't come necessarily because you're trying to sell something. Come because you want to mature and you want to grow your personal and professional life and your network and your ability to affect change. If that's the mindset that you come with, then I think you will really reap the benefits of what Comp Laude is on an annual basis.
Well, if I wasn't going to be there, that would make me want to go, but I will be there.
Well, I am kind of in marketing, so, I got to kind of figure that stuff out.
Yeah, and you do very well. And that's why we're very honored. And that's why your passion and everything you do made you, or you received Magna Comp Laude.
You mean this?
Yes, yay!
I just carry it around in my car. I kind of actually have it hanging around my rearview mirror just in case people want to check me out. So
you're like, I have some bling. Here it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what did that mean to you?
It meant everything. I had not developed, I guess, the level of stature in the industry by then. And so I was sitting out in the audience, and Becky Curtis, who was the Magna Comp Laude winner from the year before, the way it works is the prior year's winner, reads and presents to that year's winner, and started reading the resume, and it's like, that really sounds like me, but Pews never win. That can't be me. There's got to be some kind of other person that has that kind of experience. But the deeper she got into it, the more I realized it was me, and it kind of set in that I was a winner. And it just, it was such a privilege and such an honor, and completely mind-bogglingly unsurprising. I didn't expect to win, especially with the people that I was nominated with. I'm not very often at a loss for words, but I really was at that point in time, because it was an affirmation of what I had done up to that point. And honestly, Kristen, it was really a reason why I continued to do and do more since that period of time, because getting that acknowledgement of what I had done up to that point really was propellant to me. To say, okay, they've recognized you, but this is not the end of the journey. This is not a destination. This is a mile marker on a very long journey. And it really enthused me to reach out and do more, and to learn more, and to advocate more, and to talk more about best practices. The fact that I'm listed in the winners and I get to hang my bling around, and the TSA typically stops me when I'm trying to go through security with it, but it's just a wonderful opportunity to be recognized, but also to recognize that my journey had just begun. And so I really appreciate the honor that was bestowed on me then, and I hope that I live up and continue to live up to that honor by everything I do in every moment of every day from here on forward.
Well, it was well deserved, and I am very honored that I got to hand it to you and be a part of that experience in that moment for you, especially when you were lost for words.
You need to take a picture, because it doesn't happen very often.
Well, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your experience about Comp Laude and all that you do for the industry alone, not just Comp Laude, but for the industry, and wanting to share the knowledge.
It's been my pleasure, Kristen. Thanks for inviting me, and I really look forward to Huntington Beach. That Paseo hotel, I saw it a couple months ago, and that's a sweet spot. So you add on everything that I said along with that sweet spot, it's the place to be for sure.
Well, Mark and I hope that you join us September 23rd through the 25th in Huntington Beach at the Paseo Hotel and Spa. For more information, go to www.complaude.com, and all the information's there. See ya.
Thanks, Kristen.
Bye.